Hello, how are you doing today? Welcome to my channel. My name is etefevoke. Today we're going to be talking about Adzo Medie's debut novel titled His Only Wife. So, His Only Wife is a book that I found really easy to read. If you ask me, it was pretty chilled. It's something that once you pick it up, you cannot put it down. It was such a nice experience reading this book because of how much Peace put in effort for her readers to be able to fit into the shoes of Afi, who is the main character in this book. So we could easily walk in her shoes, and I love when I can walk in the shoes of a particular character. So I got to imagine, and I said, okay, I'm going to also involve you in this imagination. Imagine that you're just a regular person living in your town or your village or your city or wherever you are, and you have your own hopes and dreams. Like Afi was dreamt of becoming a seamstress. She was a seamstress already anyway. She was a seamstress and she dreamt of actually going into fashion full time. So she was living with her poor mother, her widowed mother, and she had a cousin she loved, and she was just really a simple girl. And one day your family just marries you off to this guy, like it's an arranged marriage, and you don't even know him. Yes, you've seen him before, but doesn't really count. Just because you've seen someone doesn't mean that you actually know the person. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So actually, Afi's mother is a widow, and this Ganyo family had done a lot for her mother and herself. So it was kind of like a debt of gratitude, because the Ganyo family do not like their son the woman their son Elikim was in love with. Are you seeing a pattern there? So they want this homely girl that has been groomed in the traditions and their ways. So they got married to this girl on his behalf. The book opens with Afi saying, and I wrote it down. She said, "Elikim married me in absentia. He did not come to our wedding." This line was the first line in the book, and it actually just coincided with a discussion I had with my mom that same day. My mom had attended a wedding ceremony and the groom was absent. So we're just talking about how people do not see anything wrong with grooms being noticeably absent in their wedding ceremony, and most of the time it's actually the groom. It doesn't happen to the bride. The bride is always present in her wedding ceremony, but the groom can be absent, and it's really common. It's really common in around us. So my mom was actually just expressing how much she didn't like it, and I agree with her. So I picked up this book, and that was the first line in the book, and I started laughing. I said, okay. I was just talking about this with my mom. The fact that the marriage was arranged and it was masterminded by Elikim's family. Elikim is a groom. So masterminded by Elikim's family because they did not approve of his his child's mother. Afi was catapulted to this life of affluence and money and riches and power. It's beautiful because here you are, a poor girl, and all of a sudden your life changed forever. But the main question in this book was, is that really enough? Is power and wealth and having to buy everything you want, having to take care of your mother, really enough in life? That was what was posed at Afi in this book. Afi had it all. She had the rich husband, the husband that everybody respected and feared. Afi had the power to do what she wanted. Afi could now go to a proper fashion school. Afi could now ride in nice cars and wear nice dresses and live in a nice flat. But was this enough? Because Afi at last fell in love with Elikim, and was that enough? Most of the questions in this book was, is this really enough? Because the protagonist in this book kept on chasing more and more and more, and which is what I love so much about this character. She posed as a very strong character for me because of how simple she is, and at the same time powerful, and at the same time very realistic. I love how realistic this writing is because it's happening all around us. You see girls all the time being put in with this heavy load that they have no business carrying. Maybe to pay family debt, maybe because you are a woman, which is mostly a common thing that people say. You are a lady, you are a woman, you're supposed to be doing this. This is the way a woman's life is. This is how a woman's life is. Almost every girl that grew up or was raised in the African scene or in an African country, I must have heard this statement before. That's how a woman's life is. You're a woman. It's not as if a woman's life is so burdensome and you're meant to solve life's greatest troubles. This was what happened to Afi as well. And I particularly love the fact that she was able to speak up for herself. Very, very essential. It was a very essential move for me. And when she was speaking up for herself, I was like, yes, this book had a lot of moments. Like, I'm reading the book, I'm like, really? Really? You know, that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of things that are absurd to me. And I keep asking myself questions like, is this even necessary? You're married to a person and the person's telling you, I forbid it, you can't do this, you can't do that, and the fact that your mother-in-law is the one that's overseeing the affairs of both her children and the family. It reminded me of an excerpt or a quote from The Death of Vivek Oji by Medie. In the book, I can't really quote it verbatim, or I can't really say the exact words, but the entire sermon was that just because the person came from you or came to the world through you does not mean that you own the person. And ever since I read that line from that book, I really keyed into it. I saw a lot of sense in it. Because you see, a lot of African parents, they feel like they can mastermind everything, which was the case of Auntie in this book. She was called Auntie by almost everyone as a sign of respect. The matriarch of the Ghanaian family, which was called Auntie, which is a sign of many people in Africa, or older people in Africa, they just like to regard it as Auntie. They like to add Auntie or sister as a suffix or to their names as a title. So this Auntie, she was known by almost everybody as Auntie. So she was just masterminding everything. And not just in Africa, a lot of parents have that mindset that, okay, you're my child and I'm responsible for you. I know that you're responsible for the person, but you do not have to say in how the person is going to run their life, because you do not have the right. I always have an issue with people taking away someone's choice, because I feel like that's the only thing anybody has in his life. I might be wrong, but I feel like choice is essential. Choice is something that you take away anything, but don't take away the person's choice. Because that's our entire existence. I choose to do this, I choose to do that. So most of the time, most people, especially women and men, but I'm not calling men, because I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and it seemed like men, I don't know, prove me wrong, or if you have anything contrary to say, you can leave in the comment section. Men kind of are comfortable with this idea of power. They're actually oppressed, because you imagine your mother just says, okay, I got married, there's this girl in the village, you should marry her. That's oppression as well. Because in the case of Ellie came in this book, he had someone he loved. He had Muna, her name was Muna. He had Muna and he loved so much. They even had a daughter together. And the family did not approve of her. So they had to go and get Afi, a girl who is accustomed to the tradition and the tenets of the people. That's oppression as well. But men do not say anything wrong in it, and I don't want to know why. Or they see, but they do not feel the need to actually speak about it. There was a part in the book that said, oh, you do not have to love. You don't have to love. You don't have to fall in love. Just get married to the person and just take good care of him, cook for him, sleep with him, and you are fine. Everything's going to be fine. That was most of the words that Afi was being told, and she kept on asking questions and challenging everything she was hearing. This book is written using the first person narrative technique, so we get to see the story from Afi's point of view. And it's written in very simple and clear language. Although there are some phrases or some words that actually used amongst the Evre people of Ghana, these people occupy the Volta region in Ghana and also some parts of Togo and Benin. So there's some words some traditional words or native words that were imputed into the book is so beautiful, and because you get, it's not just a reading experience for you, it's an experience for you to learn about other people's language and culture. It's really beautiful, especially their food and expressions in the language and in the dialect. It's really nice. Yeah. So for the themes in this book, I would just say love and power, because of how intertwined these things were. Because they used poverty as a tool to oppress the poor, which was power. Because Afi and her mother were actually the less privileged in this story, and Afi lost her father at a young age, and her mother had to, and the Ganyo family stepped in, giving them a house and also offering mom a job. So that was a tool, because in as much as they helped them, the Ganyo family came back later asking for a very big favor, and that big favor was Afi giving up her entire life to please them. Because they said they told a lot of lies about the woman that their son Elikim was in love with. She's masculine, she's a witch, she's a bad mother, all sorts of lies. And Elikim was willing to leave her, but she was actually just keeping Elikim trapped because of the child who is sickly. So that was a tool, poverty. And there was also a very huge theme of love, because of how much Afi got to fall in love with Elikim. Sorry, I'm giving you a little bit of spoilers here, but it's necessary I say it. Afi fell in love with Elikim, but was that enough? Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of things about how much are we willing to settle for with the circumstance we have at hand. Okay, I can do this, I can do that, but how is love was her love enough for him to really see her in this situation? That was the case for Afi. And there was a lot of manipulation as well, which goes hand in hand with power that the Ganyo family exercised in this book. A whole lot of manipulation, and it got me thinking that if I was in the shoe of Afi, who was being manipulated this way, even by her own mother, so there's really nobody to turn to. Your friends, or okay, she didn't have any friends, there's really nobody to turn to. Her cousin hoped that okay, she would just lean in a little bit. Then the lady next door, who later became Afi's friend, wanted her to just enjoy the wealth and go on with her life. Like, okay, you were poor before, and that was the same sentiments that the Ganyo family shared. You're like, okay, you were poor before, so I don't know why you're complaining so much. You have been catapulted into wealth, so why not enjoy it? And I feel like I was on Afi's side. Like, money is not everything. Honestly, they did not really put themselves in Afi's shoes, and it kind of hurt. And I was proud of Afi a lot of times in this book. A lot. I was really proud of how she grew, how she stood up and spoke for herself. I was really proud. Afi was my favorite character. There was no other character that was important as Afi in this book. None. If I was going to pick another character, I would say Evelyn. Evelyn was also, they were like, she and Afi were kind of the same thing. Poverty had also played a role in their life and their choices. Evelyn was the girlfriend to Afi's husband's brother, Afi's brother-in-law. Simple. Afi's brother-in-law. She was his girlfriend, and the same thing is that Evelyn was not accepted by the Ganyo family, but Richard catered for her and took good care of her needs. She was placed side by side with Afi in this book because she was living in the next flat. While Afi protested that no, she wanted to go and live with Elikim in his house, Evelyn was wondering, okay, why not just enjoy your life, live your life, be happy and be independent. You do not even need his affection or his attention. But Afi said, no, I want more. So they were kind of side by side, and Evelyn also showed how proud she was of Afi and her decisions. So if there's any other character I would like besides Afi, I would say Evelyn. Evelyn really tried. The book was also set in Accra, which is the capital city of Ghana. There were also parts where they shuffle between Accra and Ho as well. Ho is in the Volta region area of Ghana as well. So it's really just Ghanaian society in entirety. A star review by Kirkus Review, I hope I'm saying that that's Kirkus, called this book A Crazy Rich Asians for West Africa. And I didn't see that, but when I read that, like, no, but putting it side by side, there's a lot of similarities to it. The Ghanaian family had so much wealth and affluence, so much power. Also a matriarch, and there was a matriarch in Crazy Rich Asians. Then the main character, Afi, took the role of Constance Wuye because she was an independent woman and she was focused on what she wanted as well. Elikem was sort of like a mama's boy, just like the guy in Crazy Rich Asians. I've forgotten his name. Because like the guy in Crazy Rich Asians, this scene is kind of similar, but his only wife in his own spot, if you ask me, in its own spot. It was well written, very great book to me, and I would recommend it to anyone who is looking for a quick read. It's not a read that you go and you pick up and you just busy yourself with the happenings in this world. It's something you can really slot yourself into easily, very fast, very quick read, very nice read as well. So I hope you enjoy just as I've enjoyed it. And with that, I'll draw the curtain for today. Do not forget to like this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to share my video. Do not forget to leave a comment, your opinions about concerning what I have said all through this video or throughout this video. Please leave a comment. I always look forward to comments and I look forward to communicating with you. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching to the end especially. So goodbye. Take good care of yourself.